Here we are.
We're back again. I know it's been a while. You know, we have a tendency in northern Wisconsin and Minnesota to kind of hibernate a little bit during the winter.
You know, it's just a lot easier that way.
I've been doing traveling like crazy for work. I think I've been on 18 airplanes already this year. But anyway, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jeff from Picture Time, and I'm here again with my father-in-law, Tim. Say hi, Tim.
Hi, Jeff.
Well, hey, oh, you mixed it up today.
I did. Just thought we'd have to mix it up a little bit. It's April Fool's Day after all.
It is April. Well, we're taping on April Fools.
Yeah.
So the jokes are going to be thick today. The irony, the satire, it'll be great. So we're obviously back here, and you can see the Woody Wagon behind us. It's really made a lot of progress through the winter, but maybe not quite as far as we thought, because we thought we'd maybe be disassembling already.
Yeah.
But what? Obviously, last time we were with you, we took the car for a drive. The chassis and the drivetrain was all done.
Fun.
And now we are in full mock-up assembly. Right before we now take everything apart and finish everything.
Well, one of the ideas that somebody passed along to me was, hey, you should just get the car all put together so you make sure everything fits, all the bolts are in the right place, the holes are in the right place. If you have to modify anything, you can easily do that before the finishes are on. So we took that to heart and we did that. And I'm so glad we did, because there were some things that had to be updated and changed, and worked out great.
Yeah. So I think what I'd like you to do is take us through and just show us what you've been working on through the winter months.
Great. With
getting everything fit. I know that, you know, it's a wood body on a metal car, and there's little shims that need to go in, and bolt holes need to be adjusted, but you also had the whole interior, all the seats done too, right?
Worked out so well. Yeah, we'll give you a good description of what happened there.
All right, so you guys know the drill. I'm going to jump back around behind the camera, and then why don't you show us around a little bit and show us what you've done. Okay, Tim, tell us what we've been up to here.
Well, last time we were with you, we had the car all done mechanically, and we took it for the ride, as we mentioned. And we also had put the cowl on, and we had a temporary seat, and we were able to drive it, and drive it legally, actually. But now, from that point on, in the fall, we took and built the car from the cowl on back. And so I wanted to get everything assembled first to be able to make sure that everything worked well, and make sure we had all the parts and everything worked well together. So that was a big part of what I did, and that actually took me a couple of months of working on it on and off, and it came together pretty nicely, really. When you do a wood body, there's always some adjustments that need to be made. So I worked quite a bit on just making sure all the margins are right in the doors and on the fenders, and that everything closed right, and that it worked well. So that's been a big part of what I've been doing. Once I got that together, then I was able to continue on the process. I did some painting and some finishing, but I need to do all the rest now. Like on the floor system, I was able to do that. But a big part of what we did, like December, January, and into February, really, is we did the seats. The seats were all there. Tim from McAllen, Tim Johnstone, he had done such a great job of collecting all the parts for this car, and it was really fun to work with the parts. So what I did, first of all, I took the seats and took them all apart, and I had to look around for the right person to help me with these seats, because they're very specialized. I talked to a local upholsterer who does a lot of antique cars, and he said, well, I couldn't help you. He didn't have time, and he didn't have the experience. So he said, talk to Bill Sturm in Needham, Wisconsin. So that's what I did. And he did such a good job. He's done many, many Woodies, Model A Woodies and other Woodies around the country. So I talked to Bill, and he said, yep, I'm wanting to retire, but I can help you maybe on this project. But one of the neat things about this, Bill, ironically, had a relationship with Tim Johnstone. He sold the fabric for the seats to Tim 25 years ago. And so we were able to get all the materials over to him, get the rebuilt seats to him, and he was able to put the seats together and did a great job. He's done so many of these. This is just one of probably 25 or 30 or 50. I don't remember the number, but he's done a lot of this, and he does exactly per the Henry Ford standards.
Let's take a look at the seats here.
Yeah. Well, the front seat is a bench seat, and it's just installed temporarily right now. But it's a neat fabric. It's got a special color to it, and the seat is a material that is as close to the original Henry Ford material as you can get, and they don't manufacture it anymore. It was done 25 years ago, and but he's done just such a perfect job with getting all the beading right and all the seams. But then the way that he's done the edges as well of the seats and the top of the seat, he actually made his own molding piece to go on the top, which is exactly like Henry Ford had done it. In the back on the seats, there's a metal support, for example, and the fabric comes and covers over that metal support, and then it attaches to the wood base.
What else needs to happen on the seats here?
Well, we're in pretty good shape. We just need to finally attach these. These seats just simply pop out, so you can have a little truck actually back here. The 2 jump seats just lift up and pop out, and the same with the back seat. So it becomes a little pickup truck. So nothing needs to be done there, and this one I simply need to attach to the right location here. I'm going to turn these irons around so that it'll be a little bit more forward, more like Henry Ford originally designed it.
Talk to me a little bit about how you had to fit this wood body. Looks like you had to do some shims and stuff.
You have to fit a lot of things so that they all work. The hood has to match up, the doors have to line up so that you get the right margin along the top and along each of the sides here, and I need to do just a little bit of trimming yet once I get the final body put together. And but then the other tricky part is getting the fenders to line up with the wood body as well. And sometimes you have to make some adjustments. So the fenders came from Tim again, and they're great shape. But we couldn't quite get these fenders to match up, so we did have to fill a piece in the bottom in order to make that work out right, because there was a different distance between the front and back on the wood and what the fender actually allowed. And I couldn't adjust the fender at all, so I had to make some adjustments. So I just did some filler pieces, which I think will work out great once we get it varnished and everything. We were able to use that exact maple material that matches up with the material that's all the solid parts of the body. So anyway, I'm happy with how that fits up.
How does this tailgate work?
Well, it's kind of a neat deal. There's a couple of latches on the back, and you just release the latches and it comes on down like this. So it's pretty neat. If you want to haul a load and you got a full load of people, you can just simply put your suitcases on the back. I do need to make an adjustment as well on the tailgate so that it'll sit level. They have got one too many links in the chain is what the issue is, so I need to just adjust that, but that's not a big deal at all either.
So it looks like you got some parts laying over here. Can you show me what's going on over here?
Well, let me just start by saying that we needed to get all the black parts, the fenders, the running boards, the splash aprons, all sandblasted. So we got those done in the Twin Cities by a man there who does a really good job. So the splash aprons aren't in yet because they have to go under the body, but that'll be the first thing that I put on once they get the body back off again. So we got the splash aprons, the headlight bar, got some bumper brackets that went on, that'll go on, and then we've got some interior parts. We've got a few that I've laid out here, the spare tire bracket, and then we've got a lot of parts that are inside of the car that hold all the wood parts together. So we'll get those sandblasted next, and then we'll get them painted. All of these parts, the interior parts, are going to be manila brown, and then all the parts on the outside, like these parts, are all going to be black. All the fenders and related parts are going to be black.
Now you had to modify one of the fenders that you got so that you could put a spare tire on the driver's side too, right?
Come on around here, I'll show you what we have. The Woody Wagon typically came with the left fender with a well for the spare tire. And so I had to cut in a well. We ordered one of these from online, and we were able to get that, and I was able to cut it out, just a very detailed direction, so it was actually quite easy to do. So.
And you know how to weld?
You know, I've done a lot of welding. In this case, I brazed it just to be able to get a little better arrangement, but that worked out great. We'll do some more finishing on it, and yeah, it'll work out well.
So we'll finish off that edge a little bit, and
Yep.
then these fenders will be primed and painted gloss black.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
And then the body panels, like the cowl here and the hood and everything, that'll get sandblasted and painted that manila brown. That's the official color?
It's the official color that Woody's all came with. That was the standard color. So anything on the inside of the color, any metal on the inside of the car is manila brown, and these parts out in front, the front piece up on the roof, and then all of the cowl parts are painted that same manila brown. But I want to mention that I need to do a couple of patch panels, which is what happens with old Model A's, is they have a little rust that happens. So we got rust at this location, but you can buy these patch panels online. I got these from Snyder's, but anyway, it works out great. They just sit right in there and you attach them properly, and it works out like a new car that way.
Today we're going to disassemble everything so that everything can move to that final finishing stage. Exactly. And for our next video, we'll probably be showing you some of the process of like finishing these pieces, right? So yes. the body work, connecting those patch panels, sanding, priming, painting the body panels on the cowl, and then tell me what you're going to be doing to the wood.
Well, we're going to be taking all the wood apart. I needed to sand it down, and I'm going to be putting a light stain on it to give it a little more of the older look rather than having it pure white. Tim Johnstone suggested in his newsletters that that's what he did with his 29, and he thought it would be a great look because it doesn't look like it's just finished. So I'm going to put a very light stain on that, and then we'll be putting spar varnish on. I'm going to take each of the components and do all sides, all surfaces. I'm going to take actually these individual strips off and then do all the finishing and then put the strips back on again and continue the finishing process. And I haven't exactly figured out how many coats, but it'll be several, probably 3 or 4 coats of spar varnish once I get everything all sealed up and ready to go. The other thing that happens here is what the nuts and bolts that are also exposed are all going to be manila brown as well. So I've got a special system that I figured out where I can keep all of these bolts organized and paint them nicely. So this is a system that I figured out. I've made a panel here for the walls, the right wall and the left wall. These are going to be all the bolts that come across the top of the right wall, and these are going to be all the bolts that come across on the left wall. And then these are the door screws. They all have to be painted manila brown, and other intermediate bolts, and these are the back bolts, back screws. So again, if I just put them here and then paint them over the top, they'll all be done, ready to go, and they'll be in an order where it's easy to put back together. Well, one for the tailgate as well, and I'm using all new screws, by the way, so we don't have to deal with the old screws, because I've got lots of rusty screws, but they are hard to work with. In the floor, we have another set of bolts for that. Here's the right side set of bolts that we need to plug in, so I've got bolts that are going to be going in all along here. And then the fender wells, the inner wells, wheel houses they call them, have a set of screws that need to go in here, and then there's sets of bolts that go in. And then on the left side, we have the same kind of thing. And these are the bolts that'll hold the tail piece together where we have all the corner bracket going. So anyway, this takes care of pretty much all the bolts in the body, and they're all right here in these 3 boxes, and it'll work really well to put it all together in a hurry.
So now we want to start taking the car apart. So I think we'll do a time lapse and speed that up. We imagine that process is going to take us a few hours. Let's take this thing apart, and we'll see you at the end of that.
Sounds great. Let's get going. I'm excited.
Let's keep going. We got some more stuff to take apart.
We do. Yeah, we want to get the floor totally off and the cowl off so we can actually get this pad down on the top of the frame and build it back up.
Okay, onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards.
Or outwards.
Something.
So, how long did that take us?
Didn't take long.
Maybe 2.5 hours?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it goes faster when we do a time lapse. It actually speeds it up in here too.
I like it.
Yeah, we are really fast.
Oh man, we're good.
So we got everything taken apart.
Yeah.
And now, obviously we're back down to what was all done, right? Like the chassis and the drivetrain, the motor, everything was all ready to go. And now that everything's fit and we know where everything goes and all the bolts go, now it's a matter of now finishing all the body stuff, finishing the cowl, welding those patch panels in, body work, paint, and then nothing now goes back on the car until it's
exactly. It's going to be done.
Like perfect, done.
Great. Yeah.
So do you think we still can take it to back to the 50s?
I'm sure hoping, but we're going to have to just kind of play it by ear. We got a lot of other things going on. Yeah. Busy lives. So
we'll do the best we can to get this wrapped up. But basically, just quickly, tell us what's next now that we got everything off. You have some welting you put on the frame and stuff?
There's welting that goes on the frame. And then directly after that, we need to put the splash aprons on, which I showed you before, because everything sits on top of the welting and the splash aprons. So that's where it has to start.
And the splash aprons are already sandblasted, so we just need to prime, sand, finish, get those black, shiny. Exactly. And then we get those on first and then start building it up. So thank you for watching us, and those of you that have been following along this project. Obviously, it's been, just over a year in the making. I think it was a year ago September that we picked the car up.
Exactly.
In
Yeah,
McAllen,
we did.
right?
Yeah. So a year and a half, let's say.
And we still have a little more to do, but now it's kind of fun because now it's coming together, and we kind of get to see the final process and how this car is going to come together. So
it's been fun just getting it to this point. Fun driving it. We actually took it for a ride before I took it all apart, and that was really fun driving it as a full-bodied car. But
and you already had some gawkers.
Yeah, they say, what in the world? That's incredible. Yeah.
It's fun. So thank you for watching. You know, in exchange for watching these videos for free, we really appreciate it if you hit the like button and subscribe and join us as we finish the project. And I do apologize, we've been away for a while, so hopefully have some more videos, some stuff on the 4Runner, and we went down to Mexico for spring break, and I got a little video coming on that too, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again, hopefully, pretty soon.
Well, won't be long.
All right.
Great. Okay.
Happy spring.
Yes.